People are freaking out after President Donald Trump had a special message delivered to convicted former Navy submariner Christian Saucier, who was jailed for taking pictures inside a nuclear-class sub. You don't want to miss this. According to the Washington Examiner, President Donald Trump delivered the second pardon of his presidency on Friday, March 9, 2018, to former Navy sailor Christian Saucier, who discovered he'd been pardoned while driving a garbage truck. Saucier reportedly took the job driving a garbage truck because it was the only job he could find with a felony conviction on his record. Originally, Saucier had received a sentence of 12 months in prison for taking pictures of different locations inside the nuclear submarine on which he worked. During his presidential campaign, Trump brought up Saucier's story on more than one occasion, claiming the submariner's life was ruined for doing nothing compared to the crimes of Hillary Clinton. According to the Washington Times, the presidential pardon Saucier received comes after he served a full year-long sentence in prison. Saucier was released from jail and returned home to his family in Vermont in September. The former Navy sailor shares a home with his wife Sadie and their 2-year-old daughter. Saucier took the classified photos in 2009 when he was 22 years old. Now, the 31-year-old former sailor is getting what he calls a huge break as a result of being pardoned by the President of the United States. Saucier pleaded guilty to 1 count of unauthorized possession and retention of national defense information. During his trial, Saucier's attorneys tried to request the Clinton deal, meaning little if any consequences, but to no avail. The court still sentenced Saucier to 1 year in prison for 6 photos that were found on a cell phone he had discarded. The photos were considered confidential, which is the lowest level of classification. Saucier admitted to destroying evidence after he was questioned about it. In contrast to Saucier's 6 photos inside a nuclear submarine, Hillary Clinton exchanged more highly classified information on an illegal private and insecure email server. It's infuriating that Saucier was sentenced to a year in prison with lifelong consequences to follow, while Clinton was allowed to get away with her crimes. Previously, Saucier told the Washington Examiner that a felony conviction made it difficult to secure employment. He currently works for a waste management company as a garbage truck driver to provide for his wife and daughter. During the time that Saucier was in prison, his family's cars were repossessed and his home was in foreclosure. Prior to being pardoned by the president, Saucier still had several months left during which he was ordered to wear an ankle monitor. When Saucier's wife heard the news, she responded, "When Chris gets home from work, when he gets to the door, I'm going to be a little emotional." Sadie told the Washington Examiner, "I can't believe it happened. I don't think it's set in yet." Sadie also told the Examiner that Christian was notified of Trump's pardon via text message as he drove his garbage truck in the local mountains where reception is poor. "I just was able to say hey via a text message, you got a pardon. All he said was, what? With a big exclamation point," she said. Sadie also told the Examiner that she's very grateful and that it is going to be a huge reality when probation calls and the ankle monitor is taken off. That's going to be a big one. "It's a shame that good men like Christian Saucier would be sentenced to a year in prison while his family's cars and house were taken away for non-payment. It's enough to make your blood boil when you think about the mountain of criminal activity Hillary Clinton got away with as Saucier sat in a prison cell." Now that President Donald Trump has pardoned Saucier, hopefully, he and his family can get their lives